Oh, I love fish. I said, you eat fish from the Pacific? Oh, yes. Well, my first question was going to be, well, where did you get it? There aren't any left. But then I just skipped to the point. I said, hey, don't you know? Don't you understand that you can't eat anything out of the Pacific Ocean anymore? What do you mean? And I said, just look up Fukushima. And that was it. It was just a quick statement. And they won't. And they'll keep eating it. You got seafood restaurant chains that are, they know, but they're not slowing down. Sushi restaurants, not slowing down. And I hear business is great.
Well, Jeff, the government of South Korea has already seized 6 million pounds of radioactive contaminated fish. And a lot of that fish, the Japanese fish, most of the fish from the West Coast, from the Pacific Northwest, from Canada, Alaska, is shipped to Japan. So we're talking about the Korean government has basically got a blanket rule. Basically, Japanese fish cannot come into Korea because it is too dirty, it's too contaminated. So what's happening now is all flooding back in the United States from Japan. And the Taiwanese government stopping it, the Chinese government stops it. The Thai government is so-so, but it's pouring into Thailand because they're very corrupted down in Thailand.
Yeah. Wow. All right, and keep in mind that, look at the third story there. There is, this is for our listeners who may be new. They're expecting 1 million cancer deaths in Japan. I would say it's going to be multiple millions, not just one. I think that's just a conservative, comfortable number for them to swing around. It's bad enough. But the issue, of course, is one of there is no safe dose of radiation because it accumulates. It's like X-rays. You don't want to get too many X-rays. It all accumulates. So here we are. Just read. It's all there for you. We put it up. Yoshi's article is extraordinarily important. I can't overstate that.
It is.
It's essential.
It's really something. Really something. Everybody sent it to me. We're just totally ecstatic. I was talking to you before about how the bears out here are only eating apples. I'm sure you guys remember that. Because
tell our listeners.
Gone from the mountains.
Tell our listeners again why.
Well, the snow is gone from the mountains in British Columbia because of the tritium.
It's the first time.
It doesn't allow the ice to crystallize, like Yoshi pointed out a while back. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
No, it's the first time there's no snowpack.
Right. We've never seen that in the history of the human race here. We have no records of it. And it's gone symmetrically throughout the entire coastline. It's all mountains along that coastline, 26,000 islands in the background. It's all mountains covered in blue ice and snow on the top. And so that would cool down the rivers and the lakes and the estuaries.
Right.
And so now the salmon can't get up the river. Now, my kid, he does a species count out here every week with 3 other guys. He's the guide. And sometimes he's the contractor. He's also a skipper. He'll take fisheries and oceans out, scientists, and do tests, And he's been doing it for many years now. But he's always taking a gun. He's the guy with the gun. And he put down a bear a few days back. The bear, normally they encounter bears all the time. This bear was in the river. There's no salmon in the river. That's what they were doing, was a species count of the salmon. And the bear put his head down. And instead of running away, it put its head down and started coming towards them. And they never had any those firecrackers to throw at them. All they had that time was the bear spray. And so the bear was definitely moving in on him, and he didn't want to shoot him, but he ended up having to shoot to kill the bear. But the bear was underweight. The bear wasn't able to get anything out of the river. There was some salmon down on the coastline trying to get up the river, but once again, there was no water in the mountains. They couldn't get up that river. And so we're going to see a lot more of these animals doing stuff like this. We had an attack here in town.
Strange behavior going on.
Attack here a couple months ago. In town. But once again, I'll just finish on that part, is that all the beer have been eating for the last month or so was the apples that were left over. The berries failed this year. There was no fish in the river. And, of course, because the rivers are so low, I'll end it on that, is that there will be no salmon coming back because they didn't get up and lay eggs. And it's not going to change. It took thousands of years to build the ice on that mountains, and the tritium now has destroyed it. And we'll
The
just
bears, a lot of them are not going to make it through hibernation, I'll bet.
Yeah, there's a lot of animals missing along here for the hunters we're talking about. They can't find anything. And the bears seems to be in the communities. I know a month or so ago, a month and a half ago, there was over 50 in just a few days all over the area here. And many of them end up getting shot and captured. So they're really desperate. They've never seen them like that before.
Wow.
Also, last week after being arrested, the nuclear PR firms watched one of my videos allegedly, phoned the police up and said I was suicidal, and the police showed up at my house on Wednesday.
Excuse me?
Yeah, but they were really good. They were nice people. They told me right away I wasn't under arrest or anything like that. They went away when I asked them. There was no headache.
They just did a welfare check because
but they
somebody
had to come down and check because the same police officer who filed the charges against me was the guy who ended up phoning the detachment here, and the police come down to check and see if that was so. And
wait. The same guy called in and said you were suicidal.
Yeah, that he got a message from somebody is all he said. And I said to the police, "Did you watch the video?" And I said, "I never posted no video in the last number of days, so it wasn't me." But I don't know what they're talking about. He said he never watched the video, and that was the end of that. Now, I took his card, of course.
We're going to go through the break, Todd. Yeah, go ahead, Dana. Go ahead.
And then the next day, they phoned me again around 7 o'clock at night and told me to take down a video of the 150 melonhead whales that died in Japan. And Yoshi covered that really well. I had to take down that video, but that was breaking my probation. I got 12 different probation rules against me. And then the next day, the money wouldn't go into my account, my bank account, the same system I've been using to fund 5 expeditions. And so I'm still struggling with that. But I got to head down tomorrow, which is okay, but I'll get it when I come back. But so far, yeah, these guys are at me constantly, and all the strikes on my YouTube account means I couldn't live stream no more. And so they've really greased me over. They've done that when I got out of jail and got home. And to me, it's laughable, but, it's like they're really working me over for some reason. But why didn't they get fingerprints off me? Why didn't they come and pick me up on Sunday when the warrant was issued? Why did they wait till the night before the judge showed up here if I was a threat? Why did they wait when the videos were made in July and October early? Why did they wait until November? There's all these really weird things that are going on. And I can't see how they can possibly hope to win the case. They have already perverted justice by filing those charges against me. They're totally erroneous, and it's totally out of context to take a 8-second clip, type it out, and claim that that's evidence without any context of a 1-hour video for my defense, and that I was locked up in a box, wasn't even able to talk to the judge. I mean, all of these things don't make sense unless you're trying to set you up or something.
Well, you're up against the nuclear power industry is what this is all about, ultimately.
And then all the blowback on the internet from everybody being articulating, and then Yoshi coming out with the cream of the crop, really laying it out. And he's been Yoshi, you're a science journalist, carries a lot of weight. Trust me, that carries a lot of weight. Everybody notices that right away. And, I'm just so grateful for what everybody has done, what you have done yourself. And those pictures on your site, they hurt me, but they're necessary. And I have to look at it too. But I hate looking at it with a passion because I can't do things properly for a long time after. It takes hours for me to come down off that. And I get angry when I look at the pictures. And that's what drives me all the time is that I know better. And anybody looks up a picture of British Columbia coastline, they'll find the same pictures.
Well, we need, and all of you people who are listening who live in British Columbia now, who may live along the coast or have people along the coast, do your own research, read, understand, and reach out and help Dana. He doesn't have a lawyer yet. He's going to need some money. If there's a lawyer with a spine left in Canada, he needs to step forward. He may get hurt, but he's got higher principles, let's hope, and not just a mortgage and a couple of kids. There are more issues involved here than that. And you got to have somebody who's righteous, who will step up and support you. This is what we need to happen. And the people who live along the coast, they got to tell it too.
I think it's all going to come out, and I think that, I can call on Yoshi for an expert witness and a number of other people out there. There's no way they can win the case against me without.
I'm not sure they're even thinking about that. I think they know that. I think they're just trying to hassle you to make you stop. Yeah.
I ain't stopping.
No.
Well, Dana, make sure your friends, small surveillance devices, cameras are pretty cheap now. Put them up all over the place. Nice hidden camera.
I do so.
With those, the infrared types, and all around your house, your car, and so on. Try to get more of your friends, being there with you, getting out of things, because we just never know what these kind of folks are up to. We just never know what they're really about. So, and what kind of thugs they associate with, retired defense contractors, that sort of thing, policemen who've been fired from their jobs.
Anymore since the lid came down. None of the workers there are talking.
They got the security lid there. Obviously, the two former prime ministers went north. There's a new MOX fuel. It'll be an entirely new MOX fuel operation in the very northern tip of Honshu. Two prime ministers went up there to denounce that because they know the Shinzo Abe government is up to no good. They're going to,
wait a minute, they're going to build a new MOX plant? Or convert?
It'll be nothing but MOX fuel. And it's near Rokasho, the big depository for plutonium that's coming back from France that's processed. So basically a very, very, very suspicious operation up in northern Japan that the two prime ministers went up there to a nearby city in Hokkaido, which would be within 30 kilometers if a reactor 3 type explosion occurs. That city has filed a case in Tokyo court to block that reactor based on the fact that, what happened to reactor 3, there's no way to control the MOX fuel. It has a bad record, so this is a new thing. Shinzo Abe is determined to extract plutonium for some nefarious reason, and then we can guess why. And so this new plant is scheduled to open next year.
I didn't know anything about this. More insanity.
Yeah, this is real skullduggery that's going on. This is militarist, total militarist, genocidal skullduggery that's happening in Japan. They're not. The other news from Japan that larger south is much closer to that other operating nuclear plant, Sendai. The USGS maps were doctored. Showed it. Google Maps doctored their map to show the earthquake epicenter be further away. The actual one you can see on Fukushima Diary is very, very close to those reactors. And the tsunami was hit by a small tsunami, but it's in the same earthquake and volcanic zone. These people are really playing dice with what's left of the future of humanity and life on Earth. And what can I say? Oh, the other thing I should just mention is when we talk about Jay Cullen's thesis that there's no cesium-137 out of Fukushima, that's already been disputed by overturned by Japanese scientists, by Tokyo Electric Power itself, that it misses CS-130.
Did he actually say that, Yoshi? He actually...
All of it comes from the atomic tests back in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, my God.
It came from Fukushima. And so I urge everybody to read E&E News, the article from the Crystal River plant of Duke Power Company. And I don't know if people are aware of it, but Bob Nichols, Veterans Today, he explained that Duke Power was given these new MOX fuel rods by the Obama administration. They did a short test and shut it down and said, we can't control this stuff. We want nothing to do with these MOX fuel rods. And so Duke Power does not operate a plant anymore in Florida, near Tampa Bay. That was shut down in 2012. But it is reported they still have a monitoring team there for any residuals. They're saying cesium-137 is falling down periodically on a regular basis over the orange orchards of Florida.
In Florida.
Where you get your orange juice and grapefruits from? There's cesium-137 on the leaves and on the outside. I don't know.
Well, it's in the fruit. It's in the fruit. The story is up there.
Yeah, this is basically the orange growing district outside Tampa.
That's right.
And And then Duke Power does have a monitoring station there, and they just said there's been lots of cesium-137 falling in Florida over the orange groves.
And where does cesium come from again, ladies and gentlemen?